I'm not convinced about Virtus.pro. Then again, they do have some good clicking support, so you know what? I'll go for the traditional. You know, I'll be old man nomad and go for Virtus.pro at least on draft. I don't think they're going to win because they are playing with a stand-in versus a team which has just destroyed them every time they've seen them. So definitely leaning BetBoom in terms of like logic, but just based on draft alone, I do prefer Virtus.pro's draft.
There is something very scalable with VP's lineup, right? Like when you play the map, the lane should be pushed in because of Prophet and Invoker. Then at any point, Magan and Spectre can just find that pick. The reason why I'm concerned is just if you use all your resources to kill a Weaver, how do you then lock down a Puck? How do you lock down a Void? Like these are three hypermobile heroes. As we already see a little bit of a fight occurring, Magnus surrounded by the entire Dire team.
Yeah, noticed, unfortunately, is going to be dropping here. Too many heroes for him to deal with. He will fall, and that'll be First Blood going away with GPK, saving the Illusory Orb to make sure he can just secure that kill for the middle lane. And Invoker's just taking a big old sigh and going, God damn it.
And
Every
already
goddamn
100
time I
away
play
from
against this
bottle.
guy.
Yep, it feels pretty rough.
And what kind of Invoker are we going to be seeing? Because I can see some forms of... Oh, hold on, Knight. He's going to be able to squeeze through that. Goes back into his dagger to get the flying movement. But, yeah, what kind of Invoker are we going to be seeing this game? Well, he's already ruined that by queuing up an Urn. But I was going to say, are we going to see like a Crossworks kind of Urn build? Or are we going to see it Exort go for the Sun Strikes and Midas?
This is one of those rare games where I might even entertain like Orchid. You know, some like Urn... Tread style Orchid, Hurricane Pike. You play on the fact that you're super mobile, you're punishing heroes pre 20 minutes before they get BKBs, you're making Puck think about, oh, maybe I do need to buy a defensive item because Pucks don't like buying that. So it could be an option. Could be an option for Invoker.
I'd like to see it, honestly. Spirit Vessel, Midas into Orchid is something I could definitely vibe with.
It's all about pacing though for the hero. Like if you're getting a couple kills, if you feel good in the game, it can work. If at any point you die or your kind of farming pattern is offset, then you probably don't go for it, right? Because your timing will be out of sync. Your opponents will have the defensive items. It's why we don't see Orchid as much, because it's so easy for heroes to get a dispel by minute 20 in the game.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes it's necessary, but most of the time, yeah, we see usually just going, oh, I'll get a Hex later on, and we don't see it straight away. Definitely not as popular as it's been previously in life. That's the thing, like, Manta just so good on so many heroes, especially there's any universal heroes around, they'll always grab that one up, so plenty of options available. So far, when it comes to the side lanes, though, no one's really getting bullied, no one's really died yet, it's just that First Blood, as FNG has no setup.
Did you just hiccup? You okay?
Yeah, I did. That was...
Oh my god.
Imagine getting hiccups during... That's never happened. That would be fun.
That would be, yeah.
What would I do?
I mean, we're about to find out.
Yeah. Now I'm nervous.
I think that could be like the best potential cast possible. Like mid-team fight. It could be iconic. It could be a voice line. You know, Valve's always listening.
Yeah,
they're always waiting for that next voice line.
Or maybe just get kicked off and replaced in like a matter of instances.
That is true. We do have a stand-in section on Discord. I can see
there's a pool.
6 play-by-plays just, you know, frothing at the mouth, ready to join. So
yeah, they heard the hiccup and were like, right, this is my chance.
Well, BetBoom though already getting an early lead, right? The first blood on the Puck, then getting a kill in bot lane. They are feeling pretty good about themselves here, and you don't want to mess around with this. I think honestly with both BetBoom lanes, right? They're very self-sufficient. In top, a mag doesn't really kill, especially when the enemy can disjoint away from the skewer. Normally Magnuses thrive when they drag a carry to a vulnerable position, but Void just time walks back. And then you also have a Pugner, worst case, that can decrep. And then in the off lane for BetBoom, you have Tusk Weaver. This is going to be tag team shards, ways to kind of contain the pressure. Sure, Spectre can just dagger over that shards, but yeah, I think BetBoom's side lanes are exceptionally strong in how to deal with what VP's kind of presenting right now.
Yeah. I love this one from Zayu right now. He's doing a really good job at just continuing to harass Nightfall after the Time War gets used. Leaves Notice to get harassed by Toronto Tokyo, but that's fine. He'll just keep bullying. And now secures the Lotus as well. And down the bottom side. No one's grabbed that Lotus as of yet. There we go. Save's going to get himself one of those right now. Always really good, especially on melee supports. Like, having a Lotus on you is just very, very tasty. And meanwhile in the mid lane, just a straight up trader farm in the mid. I imagine we'll see this continue over time as well.
Ooh, nice dodge.
Yes. No hesitation there on the Waning Rift. Do you like that Waning Rift moves you?
Yeah, I think I do. I think Puck is one of those heroes that if you didn't have mobility, the hero would just be bad because you're quite squishy before items come into play.
FNG with the quick fingers, yeah. Now Sprout comes out as well, just the extra damage. Ooh. GPK is going to fall. Squadix grabs the kill. FNG with the nice rotation.
Really nice stuff there. As soon as you play against Prophet, you have to respect that. At any minute, he could just offset the mid matchup. Even with the first blood, the bottle advantage, the pressure that Puck was applying. This wasn't enough when FNG comes to town.
No, sir. I mean, you got to get the water in that situation. If you don't, then you're in serious trouble, as we just saw. With water in, he probably would have survived, but yeah, it's unfortunate. Welcome back with full health, and Mana can hopefully lay a bit of hurt into Invoker as revenge, but of course Invoker pretty good at healing himself back up with those orbs of his, so yeah, all going to be good in the middle lane for the side of Virtus.pro. Honestly, good enough lanes coming out so far from Virtus.pro. Nothing super impressive, but you know, they need to be in a place where they can make plays through the mid game. That's why it's so important that they don't lose this laning phase. Always important, but in this game especially so. If you don't own, like, at least 50% of this map, then you're in trouble. FNG down to the bottom side is going to get taken on down here. Combination is strong. And Smiling Knight needs to get himself away. Sayu coming in, dealing decent damage, but they're just like kind of doubling up on him. And Sayu can't actually stand his ground against the two of them, despite how low that Tusk was. Lotus doing the work.
The importance of getting the 3-minute Lotus and using it correctly. FNG just instantly TPs back in.
Sayu might be able to finish off save here, though. Gets the Bramble Maze down upon him. Of course, Snowball going to buy him a little bit of time. Tries to lead him into the maze. Does do so. Gets him in the brambles and gets that kill. Meanwhile, Pure getting a bit of damage towards FNG. And then scoots himself away.
3 heroes having to play bottom, right? Just to deal with the Tusk and Weaver pressure. That frees up Pugner to secure top rune. Doesn't really matter against Invoker. He's not a rune-heavy hero.
No, but he did still win the power rune traders. Down to the bottom side, they will lose Pure. Smiling Knight grabs that kill as well, which is very big indeed. Magnus try to get away. Oh, they need a couple more clicks and they will find it. They've got the blood grenade there, so Pugner will be able to run him down.
What players well? Like, how many carry players would actually just leave that, knowing the support's going to get the kill, right? Like, maybe he was scared of a rotation, but he identifies the need for Lotus, the fact that kill is already secured, so continue with your lane and don't waste time. Wisdom runes are spawning in 20 seconds. Prophet does have TP available. Scan in play too. So he might be looking to steal it. I think BetBoom are going to be late to go to their own Wisdom rune. Okay, Pugner does TP.
Alrighty, they get it.
What? FNG's
he's just going for
the
it.
great battle begins.
Classic FNG things. Just TP's right in his face. Starts clicking away with Toronto Tokyo. Who is quicker? It is Toronto Tokyo. So FNG is going to peace out. TP on home. But you know, this does hurt. You didn't get a Wisdom rune. Now FNG has to walk back to lane. Toronto Tokyo obviously down in his safe lane. His hard lane, sorry. Not difficult to walk back to that one.
It's the issue. You know, the big age diff between the two supports, right? FNG 28, Toronto Tokyo 26. 2 years helped him click a little bit quicker.
Absolutely. And that is always the case. The younger player will always click faster.
Yes. Written in the code.
Faster fingers, better muscles. Not worn out from years of just click, 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 click in Dota.
It is cool to see that, you know, 28 is still competitive age. You know, there's still hope for me.
No, there's not.
I'll get back to ranked after this cast. By Christmas, I'll be 9k crapper.
Crapper.
I believe.
Do you reckon in the
Hold up.
future, Dota play... Oh, okay. Puck.
You can
Tornado a little bit off the
Once he
mark.
lives-
GPK moving back, but
nice here too.
Jesus, Smiling Knight comes in on this one as well. That is aggressive from the Spectre and won't really get much done. Just throws the dagger, goes back to bottom. JK, guys.
Right, so what are you saying, boss?
I was saying, do you reckon like in 50 years from now, we'll look back and all the Dota players will have like massive arthritis problems with their fingers?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. Cool. Good lot to look
Chrono.
forward to then. Meanwhile, down to the
Not
bottom
needed.
side, Smiling Knight getting beaten on down here. No chrono needed. Sir. Okay.
I mean, there's ways to disguise you wanting to BM the Spectre. You don't have to just say Discord. You can just tip him, Nightfall. Oh, bro,
Just like
if
that,
he
yeah.
tipped him,
Okay.
that would have been fucking priceless.
That would have been quite something.
No, but of
Discord
course,
down. I mean, Spectre down.
No, so I think Void is one of those heroes that utilizes twin gates perfectly, because back in the day, I remember like Chinese Dota, when they pick Void, as soon as they hit level 6 on this hero, the discussion was always they want to get this hero from the safe lane, walk to mid, chrono whatever's there, and take the tower on the 10-minute catapult wave. That was like written in the script for like 2018, 2019, maybe even earlier Chinese Dota. But now, because you have this twin gates, it's even easier, because he can push out his lane top. When he goes up to the northern side of the map, you expect him to farm the camp, and then suddenly he's off going and killing. Just like Squad 1X is trying to do right now, but not being so successful.
Oh, GPK getting caught out. He's got the orb though to get himself away. The early points in Bramble aren't enough to finish the job, although maybe. Oh god,
job.
that is close. Shadow Realm not enough to finish the job. Save gets himself out, and it will just be the one hero going down, and that is FNG falling. Jesus, that Park. Can't believe how close he came to death there, but... And a dagger. My god. Leave the guy alone. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's been a little bit awkward though for Knight, right? The last 2 times he's used his Shadow Step. One was for like some random go mid. The second time, again, attempting to kill mid, but not really netting it. Now Nightfall connects with the Puck and the Pugner to kill off the Magnus. I feel like BetBoom are just a little bit cleaner in how they're using their early game spells to net some free kills.
Yeah, I feel like both teams have attempted the same amount of kills. Maybe even Virtus.pro attempting more kills, but they've just managed to make it work more on the side of BetBoom. You know, 8 kills. That one though, SquadX will get away from.
Yeah, a rare miss from Save there. One of the best mechanically gifted position 4 players, but missing the shards there. It happens. We're all human. 3k lead now to BetBoom. Moving around the map, and yeah, like you were saying,
I'm not
we've kind
convinced
of made the
Yatora's
same
human.
amount of plays, but sorry, go on.
You said we're all human. I'm not convinced Yatora is human. I think he might be part robot or something. I'm just saying. Has anybody
Not
checked?
gonna complain. He gives us S tier Dota.
He's a machine. So you wouldn't complain if
wanna
he was
see Team
half
Spirit
robot,
play
if he
over
had
there,
like a
though.
chip in his head.
There's a reason why he has to go
complain.
bald, right, to win.
But yeah, they need to implant these chips.
Software's just
We
overheating
figured
when
it
he has
out.
all the hair.
Yeah. Need to update the software. Shave him, get to the chip. Makes sense. SquadX trying to set up on Nightfall here, maybe, but Toronto Tokyo's in the neighborhood as well. It's really awkward trying to get in for the RP here.
Yeah, pre-blink dagger. The RP kind of normally comes to you, right? Like they go on you, you turn it around, you skewer them back to your team, but that is the reason why Void is so good in this safe lane against it. There is at no point should he really die.
Middle tower getting blasted at the moment. Shield rune available on GPK as well, so they can easily commit to this tower if they want to. Meanwhile, a lot of heroes coming in towards this middle from both sides, and they will start the fight now, going on to Toronto Tokyo and just taking down the support. That'll be easy enough. GPK won't really try much to save him there, to be honest. Just too many heroes around. Onto the top side. Nightfall just going to farm away, go for this Maelstrom. Mask of Badness, Maelstrom, classic build. doesn't seem to enjoy going for the Midas on this Faceless Void compared to a lot of other Voids we've seen.
Yeah, I think because with Midas, you still want Maelstrom, and then you're missing just that innate burst of attack speed that Master Madness can give you. This is kind of like the I'm ready to be aggressive if needed type build, where Midas, it does hinder your aggressive capabilities just slightly. As Knight does poke his head into mid lane, but I'm just looking at the net worth, and are you not afraid right now? Off-lane Weaver, 7k net worth, 4.7k Spectre. And again, I don't speak from a position where it's like, it's just more, if you're a VP fan, it's like, if you're a BetBoom fan, of course, you're kind of hyped right now, but it is looking like these 3 cores in BetBoom are just going to slowly take away with the game.
Yeah, no, that's something we were talking about and something I've been worried about since the beginning, to be honest. Virtus.pro, they need to find a way to make these plays work. Killing Toronto Tokyo again and again and again, whilst it might be therapeutic, it's not going to be enough. But that's a cute little play. Using the Shadow Step, returning back to then drag these two really far out of position and save. Well, may have just saved himself with the shards, but no, does get brought down as well. Notice grabs a double kill, and that was really cool from Knight. I've never seen that before.
And I'm instantly farming Ancients. All right. So my fear for a one-sided game is somewhat fading a little bit.
Yeah.
Unless Knight dies to Ancients.
Yeah, he's good, he's good. Now go take Tormentor.
Yeah, for a couple Dota Plus shards, you can spawn it early.
Yeah. Yeah, Pure kind of just owns his bottom side of the map as FNG's about to figure out, tries to go for the blind sprout, doesn't pay off, so has to TP himself out of the area. Nobody here to cancel. Pure almost does it alone, though. Man's got a lot of damage, just picks up the Desolator as well. If it had a fraction earlier, he could have got that kill.
Another pause.
Another pause.
What would Dota be like if we just didn't have pauses for technical issues? It's
Faster
like your mouse
and
disconnects,
messier.
your fault, you know?
Yeah.
Bad hardware.
Equipment.
Yeah, exactly. Like, rather than Tio setting up all the PCs, it should just be, you bring your own peripherals, you set up your setup, and it's like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and then teams will like hire technicians to come and like lock everything in with like brackets and screws and stuff so nothing can fall out.
You're like sending Discord messages to your opponents with just like, open this text file, I promise it's fine.
Cyber warfare.
But no, luckily that isn't a thing.
Noticed and Sayu on the hunt. Blink Dagger now completed on the Magnus, and they want to see if they can get themselves a kill. A big ticket with this. Unfortunately, at the moment, there is only a Tusk down here. Not exactly the big sexy boy they're looking for. But I'll take it. Blink in, skewer back, get the kill. It's the reveal. Nothing special.
Yeah, onto a support specifically. Interesting enough, there is a ward placed by FNG earlier, which is covering Void farming top. I'm intrigued to know when they actually utilize this ward and go for a pickoff. Invoker is in the area, but they are just watching him farm this very free spot. Of course, the Mighty Mines, we don't talk about it often, but it does provide 7 HP regeneration. So a really nice spot for dire carries to farm up with ease. Okay, Magnus, Willow, also hugging the tree line. In 20 seconds, Void might return to that top side. Camps respawning, he knows it's a safe place.
I feel like he knows.
Maybe. He's just kind of doing like his regular farming pattern right now. We'll see in a second.
North or south? What's it going to be?
Okay, hold. Respawn.
Hold.
This is exhilarating content right now.
It really is. North or south? Looks like he's heading to north side. Still going to take him a really long time to farm up back into the enemy heroes.
Okay, he's going okay. The long-awaited return.
Nope. Just kidding.
I mean, the discipline from Nightfall right now is exceptional, right?
Yeah.
No, but this
is
is
seen
because
Mags, though.
Like, Weaver's pushing out bot. They just saw Mag. So, well, I respect it. Don't give a single opportunity.
They want to try and kill him. They want to try and bring him down before he gets off the RP, I think. A lot of heroes nearby. I mean, with the silence, with the Chronosphere, like, RP is not guaranteed in these team fights.
Weaver's wrapping around.
With it not being there, yeah, they spent way too long in this area. They just need to leave. Sai gets a message. He is just out. They drop the coil on him just to make sure he does go down, and they'll get something from this. That's not a Magnus, that's an Invoker. He's going to TP himself out as well. And they clear out pretty nicely, but I say nicely, you want to be making plays happen. You want to find something there. You don't just want to sit in the area for like 3 minutes, not find the Voiceless Void, and then lose the support and run away. And now you just give up this area toward BetBoom. BetBoom are in Roche. They can take it very easily. They have themselves a Weaver. They have themselves a Tusk. These are great Roshan heroes. Tanking it might be a little difficult, but you've got the bugs as well.
The tag team Swarm and a Desolator. This Roshan is going to fall.
Very nice indeed.
It really kind of boils down to how quickly they were able to utilize things, right? Like, they had that vision top, they went through the twin gate, but if it was, let's say, 10-15 seconds earlier, they'd have seen the Void Farm in the camp, they'd have probably would have been able to act on it. Timing's not really going VP's way. BetBoom just farming them up so efficiently that if they disappear for a split second, they know something's going to be up, right? And the impatience of VP as well, like Mag, he was hugging the tree line, got a bit bored, then just showed on the wave, and then of course Void isn't going to progress further down the lane, and yeah, VP, they are still in their farm mode. You've got a Magnus, you've got Spectre who's only got Blade Mail, kind of close to his Sacred Relic, and an Invoker with Midas, so a lot of farm needed for VP to feel comfortable, and maybe BetBoom can look to exploit that. Now that they had the Aegis and the Weaver, they soon got a BKB on the Void, and a Haste on Puck. Yeah, like, they're pretty fight ready if they want to go find something.
Bye-bye, Toronto Tokyo again. He takes another fall. He pretty much only hero on BetBoom to be dying consistently in this game. And only has 3 deaths, so it's not even like it's particularly bad. In fact, the Tusk has the same amount. That might be turning to number 4 in a second. Down he goes. BetBoom meanwhile established themselves on the other side of the map. Had no intentions of playing up top any longer. And they have pretty good vision down there. It's just not a profitable area of the map for them to be in. Rather take over the enemy jungle, start applying pressure to the middle and bottom lanes.
Is top lane right now a profitable area?
Oh, I get it, because FNG's there. And FNG is dead, so I guess that's profitable for the puck. He's a little solo kill, and that's the issue, right? Like, they're just finding way too much on this map, BetBoom. They don't even have to run around as 5 and be inefficient like that. Nightfall's just chilling, hasn't been involved in many kills at all, just 4 assists on him. No kills, no deaths. My guy is just playing the dream carry game, really. And he's got a Weaver to also carry.
Oh, hold up. That was kind of spooky. Ooh. They see him on the ward. They have Mag.
Oh, a little slow there on the combo. Doesn't quite grab the Weaver in time.
It's always difficult because if he leads with the RP then skewers, the stun duration will be kind of eaten up during that movement time, and of course the Weaver would be able to survive, I feel. So yeah, so I don't know if Cold Snap and Bramble with a Vessel, you could go for it, so maybe he should have just RP'd, but you can see how uncomfortable it is for Magnus to use such a big spell.
Doing all that in Aegis as well, like it feels really unlikely they'll kill him twice before the rest of BetBoom arrive. There's a Chrono Sphere on the cards as well, so yeah, that's a problem. Virtus.pro, they just feel so toothless right now. They can't take bites out of BetBoom. Yeah, BKB's galore coming up now for BetBoom. They want to start taking over this map. And it will not be a peaceful takeover.
It is interesting, though, just the amount of economy that we get right now in the patch. I think teams are right now defaulting to going a little bit greedier, right? Going for just offlaners that can farm even harder and can scale. And Weaver is getting caught bottom, but with a time lapse, instantly back out.
Yeah, he's gone.
They're smoked up, though. They're trying to go for Spectre. Spectre often plays the opposite side of the map, so a nice read from Nightfall. Goes.
Oh, and the Chrono comes down. Nightfall's upon him, immediately being followed up with the rest of the team as well. Yeah, he is gone. Look at the return damage coming on out. What the hell? They almost killed themselves off. Magnus comes in, has the RP, doesn't feel the need to use it. The Blood, Toronto, Tokyo, and save. They really need to catch some calls here, though. Puck is on the run. Going down south, FNG doesn't have the capability to catch him by himself, but the Sunstrike, it's not enough.
It's a 2 Exhort Sunstrike. If only.
Oh, if only.
Oh, that was so cute though from the Tusk, right? pressing tag team and then blinking right on top of the Spectre to give Void additional damage inside the Chrono. But it was a Radiance timing for Spectre. He just picked it up, had the Blade Mail. It was super easy for him to just return as much damage as possible. Yes, he goes down, but I think he's going to be pretty happy that he took down two with him.
Maybe, but still no cores dying, still none of the big boys falling. It's got to start to feel frustrating at some point at Virtus.pro that they're just not able to secure these big pickoffs and slow down the momentum of BetBoom. And in the middle lane, they're just going for this Invoker. Invoker, he's got the invisibility. Save has the sentry down, though, and they will be able to finish the job here, I would imagine. The Disarm's going to buy him a little bit of time. Shield Rune. Okay, all right. Sometimes you just get a little bit lucky, and this is one of those times. That is a blessing.
You say like I say skill. Very much calculated, Smile.
Knowing the Shield Rune is there, baiting them in, and then running to grab it. Very impressive. Kappa.
Yeah, it's I think the theme for VP is they just can't do much, right? Like this Spectre isn't really a kill threat. We haven't seen an RP do immense amount of damage. We kind of expecting like Cataclysm from Invoker to help offset that, but he's still quite a way away from even entertaining that, especially because he's only got 2 points exalt. So VP, they might have a lot of gold, they might be able to stabilize the net worth, but it's not really translating into aggressive moves. It's just, let's continue farming. And for BetBoom, every time they have Chrono, they probably can look to punish that. 800 gold away from Mjolnir and Void. Pot's going for the Maelstrom Axe build, so he can try and kill without needing to be there. Just coil, you can disengage, still get the clicks off due to the fact that it just procs on anyone hit by coil. And I think Greed is currently looking pretty good. Both supports from BetBoom are looking to buy Midas. I mean, we've been saying it most of the day, right? But this like double Midas support meta, it's good when you get an early lead, you buy a couple items, you get levels, and then you go back for it because you become a core later down the line, right? So when you know the game's going to last 40 minutes plus, it's going to pay off, be it through gold return or XP. Just make sure you give yourself a foundation to play the game on, right? Like Tusk has a Blink Dagger, he can then go Midas. Pugna has Mana Boots and some good levels, he can go for a Midas, right?
And what's this Pugna kind of going to evolve into if he does end up, you know, getting loads of farm and getting loads of money? What kind of items are we going to be seeing?
I think it just furthers down for more utility. Like if it goes ultra late game, I could see like Wind Waker. Before then, it's like Glimmers and 4-staffs. Like it's still going for the usual items, I feel, but just after you buy it Midas.
Secures your XP as well for the late game as well. And those all important talents. All pretty damn nice. 25 minutes into this game, and BetBoom looking for some action. Smoke in through mid. Pings coming out in the area of this Invoker. Squadix though, does he know something is wrong? Don't do it. Don't come for the wave. He sees a Puck Orb and that's enough to deter him. Yeah, he sees GPK at mid and he doesn't trust it one bit.
They're trying to go for Splinter. FNG is getting low.
Yeah, the Tormentor looking a little bit suspect. Knight?
Yeah, Knight can do it. No, he's fine. I think.
It's easy. Never doubt. Whew. Alrighty, Knight will be able to finish the job there and get that all-important shard for Invoker. Oh, that's a pretty nice one as well. Like it when a rich boy gets a shard. Honestly, that pull is so annoying from EMP. Bonus damage, annoying. The pull, just ridiculous. And this is a full Wex, by the way.
Yeah.
It's a fairly big deal. You're doing like 500-ish damage with EMP in some situations.
The net worth has been just a very stable 4K, right? As BetBoom progresses the map taking towers, VP is kind of like scurrying away, like, okay, if we don't see them, then maybe the threat isn't there anymore. And Spectre is slowly getting closer towards the heart. I mean, it's going to be good just for innate tankiness and providing more return damage, especially against a Void. If you ever get hit by a Chrono, you like it, but they're going onto the Weaver top. They have RP.
He does, commits it all
Snowball
as well.
save.
The rest of the team coming in. Beautiful snowball save coming out though from the Tusk. Is it going to be enough? Pure still surviving through this. Chronosphere comes down. The heals there from Toronto Tokyo as well. Chronosphere comes out and Noticed is gone. The mag dies. However, Nightfall, he's good. He's got himself the Time Walk to get out of that Sprout. And it is just going to be, once again, BetBoom able to turn it around. Sure, they lose their Tusk, but more than worth it. What a sick save from BetBoom.
And that's going to be every single fight. If VP don't make the fight a little bit messier, this Tusk is always going to have the positioning to be able to blink Snowball. At no point will Tusk ever put himself in a spot where he's going to get hit by a multi-man Chrono, right? And yeah, great stuff as always. I think Snowball saves used to be a thing of art, and now it's just like, if you don't do them, then just a bad Tusk player, right? And
Yes, sir.
be
Okay, all right. Bye-bye, Pugner.
really nice deep ward there, right? I think FNG,
Yeah.
with this Prophet, he is showcasing how Vision can be so advantageous, because he TPs, place ward, TPs back to base, right? You never walk yourself through the wards, you never show the kind of direction of where you're going, and they normally are very much fringe wards on the extremes of the map, but this time it helps get a kill, and with no Chrono, Virtus.pro, they are walking into the Roche Pit, half HP already. I say walking, they've already walked into the Roche Pit.
Yes, past tense. And either BetBoom don't know or don't care. Either way, there's nothing they can do about it. Roshan is going down, and Aegis is going to be in the hands of Virtus.pro, and that will be in Smiling Knight's claws. And a cheese, which will go over towards Squadix. So now with this Aegis, it changes things quite a lot. I mean, Spectre, you know, not the best sieging hero in the world, but can definitely play a lot more free now in moving around the map and trying to look for plays. You know, it frees up everyone. You can kind of be relatively confident about going on a hero knowing you'll have the Spectre to back you up. She's not going to be worried about not being able to go back to her illusion or whatever. Quite a lot of confidence, but of course, heroes on the side of BetBoom, they don't mess around. Got good mobility, good damage, 2 carries in the Weaver and in the Faceless Void, so always going to be a secondary source of damage to worry about.
Okay, do you think Pure has quick enough reactions when Mag blinks in to be able to Hurricane Pike back the Magnus to disjoint that skewer?
Probably not. That's kind of difficult. With instant
I'm
cast
gonna
stuff,
keep
it's a
an eye
little
out, just
easier. Like, there's a big difference between like BKB or Sakuchi or Time Lapse versus Hurricane Pike. Would you have to click on someone or something? You'd have to precast it. And Knight, well, this might be the Aegis, though. A lot of damage going to be reflected here, especially when they're right on top. But like this RP comes out too on top of them. They need to finish the job here. The Weaver, he's surviving through this all right now. Sure, he doesn't have a BKB, he doesn't have a time lapse, but doesn't matter. He gets up to the high ground into the cover of the BKB, and he is going to be able to escape. Oh, it looks so good. It looks... How did they miss every opportunity? Okay, cool.
Or spell. The Warpine Raider just helping out there, tanking the route for him.
Oh my god.
A little bit of
Toronto,
miscommunication though
Tokyo.
from VP. They hit the RP, they go for the Sunstrike, but then he skewers away from the Sunstrike, and Invoker, he's got, you know, 5 points exhaust, plenty enough damage to get there, but still, BetBoom there not respecting how tanky this Spectre is. He's gone for a really old school, just I Blade Mill, I Disperse style build, and it's wreaking havoc right now on BetBoom a little bit. They do have Chrono though, so maybe they still look to be aggressive as they find the Invoker in the bot side of the jungle, and he does go down with ease.
Bye-bye, Squadix. Chronosphere is used, Invoker goes down, and that's the one kind of freeing thing about Aegis as well, is that you can kind of just chrono anyone as long as you get a kill from it. You don't really mind. You don't need to save it for the big team fights or whatever. Get a kill on any VP hero, you're going to delay them. You're going to waste this Aegis timing a little further. It's fine, like all of a sudden, all the confidence in the world to just keep on jumping on these cores, yeah. Nice skewer down, but unfortunately the orb came out in time for GPK.
Yeah, it's still pretty cool though, like the more you think about it, like Knight going for a Manta, that's not really going to help him right now against this potential jump, so just going straight for the heart, it really just secures his ability to walk down the lane, and if he is to die, it's going to take either all 5 heroes it should buy enough time for VP, but still, again, so far, enjoying the itemization from Knight. Pure, he's trying to wrap around, be a little bit annoying. He will
I would really like to
be
see the
successful.
shard coming out for Spectre sooner rather than later. You know, maybe you don't wait for the Tormentor. It can be such a powerful catch you tool, you know? It's usually like a use it once and you manage to like naughtily kill someone, catch them off guard. But it can be seriously strong on Spectre as well, just in terms of like a deterrent. If you get off Blade Mail and the shard during Chronosphere, then it's not going to be easy to bring him down. Pure really breaking ankles right now, but I think his ankle breaking days might be over. They've got the vision upon him. They've got the vessel there as well. Knight will be able to finish the job, and Pure finally goes down. They get out the bug swatter and they take him down.
I think VP, they've overcome the aggression of BetBoom in the mid game, and now it's kind of like their game to win. It feels like that they're making all the right moves. They're the ones pressuring. Pure, sure, he's being cute running around the map, but being cute don't win you Dota games, right? Unless you're
Absolutely not. Good stuff coming out for Virtus.pro. Honestly, kind of impressing us at this point. Making some good plays in the late game. They found their timings. And Smiling Knight especially, you know, as a stand-in for this team, is leading from the front. Which you kind of have to do on this Spectre. That's how the hero works now. The rest of the team kind of following up. Dota is a universal language. Now, Noticed has the BKB as well. Well on his way towards actually looking for a Hex next on this mag.
That is the bane of VP's lineup, right? Is that extra bit of control. You can see how awkward every RP is. Like, if I RP, are we sure we're going to kill them? And that's why Invoker is looking for the Midas. I think it would be good for Notice to have one as well, because he can blink, skewer back, Hex, breathe for a second.
Oh, the Hex, yeah.
And then RP. Yeah.
Yes, indeed. I mean, part of me still wants to see a Cataclysm, but it's fine. Maybe we get from one
I'm okay
from
with
Roche or
going Hex
something.
first, because then it gives you like team fight outside of the combo. And I think BetBoom is like one fight away from hitting the perfect combo and silencing us on VP's ability to come back, right? And they are smoked up right now. They are looking for that opportunity.
My counterpoint will come later, as Notice needs to get himself out of here now. How well does he sense it? Oh, he's up on the cliff, blinks himself down. How the hell did he manage that? All right. Sparta senses were tingling there, and the Sunstrike and the Shadow Steps just going to bring down Save. He thought he was fine, and then from nowhere just gets obliterated. Sunstrike gives you the vision to land the Shadow Step upon him. That is brutal. But, yeah, my counterpoint to what you're saying about the RP, the problem is RP has felt like a useless ability because they don't have a bursting carry. You know, Spectre, he wins long fights. He deals damage over time. He doesn't kind of jump in and cleave 3 heroes down. I feel like you want that threat. I feel like you want that. Just something else for BetBoom to worry about, because none of these RPs have landed kills for them. They've all been pretty good onto multiple calls, but none of them have really resulted in any deaths, so...
Yeah, it's a complicated problem, right? And I think some teams would look to activate RP through that. Other teams would also lean on the point you were making, where if VP are winning drawn-out fights, if the entire team itemizes to prolong engagements, then you're just further enabling your current successful, you know, fights, right? Your current way, your playbook. So, yeah, it's a solid 50-50, right? And maybe after this discussion, in the dying minutes, he quickly just switches to Ags, right? But I think depending on what type of player and what type of team you have, it really could easily be either of them.
Well, for now, seemingly sticking to the Scythe of Vice. And for now, Roshan will be respawning in half a minute. Or at least we'll know when it's respawning in half a minute. That means all the teams need to be ready to go on this dire side, and look at BetBoom. They are certainly getting ready to take this fight. Smokes out. Moving forward. They need to get vision down. They need to hold this area of the map. There's no one here from Virtus.pro. They're not defending this area at all at the moment. Happy to re-invade later on, I guess. If we do end up in like a 60, 70-minute game, which way would you be leaning then?
Ooh. I think VP. because their high ground is just infinitely better to hold, right?
Yeah.
Like if a Weaver walks up the steps, that's a full combo. If a Void walks up the steps, it's a full combo, right? It's the value of Magnus, it's the value of Invoker, Spectre. Like these heroes are just insane at just surprising you with burst damage as the game goes longer.
Look at the
Paired
bottom
with
lane.
the Prophet pushing the map, right? Look at bot wave. It's a chunky wave, right? It's Forge Spirits, it's Treants, it's a fortification already used.
Catapult. Yeah, they're gonna fortify the fortify. Not something you see that often in pro games, but in this situation, I mean, that catapult is going to get so much damage off on that tier 3. All the while, BetBoom, they're just holding the top side of the map. They are not being subtle about it either. If you want to approach this Virtus.pro, you gotta have a good idea on how to do it. Squadix still holding the cheese, by the way. That might be notable in the fight.
1,000 gold away from Hex on Magnus, so it won't be ready for this fight. Invoker just completed his, so 1 Hex is going to be the big game-changing item potentially for Virtus.pro.
Absolutely. Will mean that no buyback could be available, but definitely worthwhile for the Hex. But yeah, Roche is
do have
up.
Sunstrike to scout if they
Prophet
want to look.
Just TP'd down to the bottom side, so wants to keep putting pressure on this bottom tower, but all the while, Roshan, it's going down quick. You need to answer this. The Sunstrike is going to give them the vision. Nightfall comes out of the pit. They don't have all their heroes. I mean, obviously, Spectre can jump over whenever, but it's just really difficult to start this. It's really difficult to find the angle of engagement, and I think they may just end up leaving Roshan to BetBoom, which is kind of crazy, honestly. Sunstrike coming down, reveals how low it is, reveals how low Cure is. He's gonna actually just use the time lapse, and Roshan, it dies. Aegis grabs. I mean, okay, they'll kill Toronto Tokyo. That is a price they would happily pay. If they had a giant pit of lava, they could push Toronto Tokyo in to get an Aegis for them, they would do it. Sorry, buddy. As a Chronosphere comes down onto the Magnus. Hello, sir. I mean, they have the damage to rip through him. He is going to fall. Buyback available should he really need it, but I'm not even sure there's a fight they should be taking. BKB used from Pure. He doesn't have that much health left, but has that Aegis in pocket ready to go. GPK Magnus jumps in, gonna get hexed. There's the reveal they were looking for, but they need to do the damage right now. And to do that, they need to stop Toronto Tokyo from just healing him up through it all, and they won't be able to do that. Meanwhile, Noda's running forward, trying to find the entry point onto Knight. They do get the first kill onto the Weaver. They're trying to find the second, but the time lapse is there in time. He gets himself back, but he's so low, he's gonna die to illusions. What?
Wait, Magnus just got killed again. That's a dieback.
Chronosphere comes down onto Notice. He will die in the fight. Squadix trying to fight up. He's going to get himself coiled up for the time being. Looks like the Invoker might fall. Never mind, he's got the BKB off cooldown, ready to go, but the right click finds him regardless. GBK brings him down, but all the while, Knight, he is just the king. There is one true carry in this game, and he is tearing through the side of BetBoom right now. So they get the Aegis, they let it go, but Virtus.pro, their grand plan, it somehow works.
Yeah. That fight was so... Roshan falls, Void gets a refresher shard, instantly kills off the Magnus. The Magnus, rather than opting to go for the pit, he went to start on the Pugner. The Pugner then got hexed and killed. He then jumped back in again to fish for the tusk, got punched and chronoed. He buys back, TP's bottom, goes through Twin Gate. He appears through the Twin Gate, and then Void's like, hey buddy, how you doing? Refreshes and just kills him again. Meanwhile, Pure on his Weaver nearly dies. Time lapses back into a root next to 2 Spectre illusions and dies. So both the offlaners having negative impact in the fight, it feels. One died back, one time lapse died.
With Aegis.
Yeah. So
that death was insane. Literally time lapse into a root from like... I don't know why the root was there. I don't know why those illusions were sitting there, but that just looked absolutely wild as Puck sees the Willow. Willow, though, just going to get herself out. Won't be in too much danger
Net win to
here.
VP, though. Like, net win for BetBoom to have an Aegis instantly taken away from them without having to use a single RP is... I say single as if he had multiple, but he didn't use his RP. This Spectre is quite the force, and of course the Hex pickup, that's why he went for Hex first, right? It's the cheap fight, the constant look, and if things go wrong, then he can still amp up his Spectre through his own additional control. 7k lead now for VP.
Smiling Knight really has become the giga carry of the game as well.
Yeah, Butterfly complete on Spectre. He's got... I mean, this is such an old school build, right? Heart, Butterfly, Radiance, Manta. Like, this is... I'm getting a wave of nostalgia seeing these items. None of these like dispersers and Scardies and stuff. Like this is like authentic Spectre 101.
Yep, just the old classic. And she's beasting it. Still no shard, but you know, whatever. Hasn't needed it, clearly.
And there's even
How are
with a Silveridge in the
doing?
game, it's just not that scary. For what team? What supports were we interested about?
Well, I mean, all supports.
Effigy has a refresher. He picked that up after the last fight. He had Ag Solar Crest when he took the Rangerak's bottom, by the way, which we haven't said, but bot Rangerak's did fall during that Roche fight.
Yes,
and
I
then
highlighted that.
oh, you did? My bad. And then he has a refresher. This is the profit I like seeing. You know, some team fight controlling, map playing profit. None of this Dagon stuff.
You're just happy. You would have been happy with anything that wasn't a Dagon. We've just seen far too much profit Dagon today.
But there's nothing more than depressing than clicking on a hero in a Dota game and seeing Voodoo Mask.
That's the thing. A lot of them just get
see a
stuck on
branch.
Voodoo Mask as well.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure like a Circlet's better than Voodoo Mask. Yes, it does give 10% spell life still. It probably has some place due to Bloodstone,
Wrath of
etc.
Nature,
But
yeah.
just seeing it in your inventory, it's just the most empty looking item possible. People are going to think I'm actually angry. It's kind of funny. I'm seething.
Well, I mean, the game did kind of fall into a neutral state after those big Roche fights. Like, despite the fact that Virtus.pro pretty far ahead, they never really got anything big from it. Obviously, the Aegis going the way of BetBoom, then immediately being used. And neither team seems to want to make a big play on the other. The lane's constantly being flooded in for the side of BetBoom due to this Nature's Prophet, due to this Invoker. Not much being thrown back the other way. Some illusions, but nothing to worry about. But now, Virtus.pro trying to break the silence a little bit. But honestly, BetBoom, they're all tucked up tidy inside their base at the moment. Magnus going fishing. Oh, they find someone big. That is a puck RP coming down, but the Chronosphere, it's onto 3. It's not bad, but where is the damage? It's just really taking down the Magnus, who's already used RP, so they're not too fussed about that. Saver's going to die. The puck survives. Notice gets away. Pure, he's got to be careful. Time-lapse has to be used to get himself out. Squadix as well. Also, very much threatened. A lot of cores getting low in that engagement, but ultimately, just the Tusk and the Magnus falling. But yeah, big Chronosphere, not just for catching 3 heroes, but helping the puck survive.
Yeah, it was quite the chrono to save the puck. It was potentially puck dying as well, but on a sliver of HP was able to BKB phase shift and then blink out. And the reason why Tusk dies is Willow throws the Bedlam on top of the Spectre, which does an immense amount of damage. But yeah, it's weird. BetBoom, it's like, I think for VP, they are struggling to connect on some RPs into kills still. I think we are a cataclysm away on that regard, but it doesn't really bother, I think, Knight or Invoker. Like, they're still just going, alright, sure. No RP, but we still get some cleanup kill after. It's like you're 1 RP away from winning the game. And BetBoom was struggling to really kill inside Chrono on, like, the important heroes, right?
Yeah.
Either they can't find them, or they just can't kill Spectre.
Yeah, you can almost feel Nightfall like looking for that Invoker, but almost always having to drop it on the Magnus. And that time, you know, yeah, you help your puck survive, so I'm okay with it, but also having to kill the Magnus when he's already used at RP is, you know, still has side effects. He was obviously still a very powerful hero outside of RP, but still not that #1 target you're looking for in the Invoker. And it takes so long just to chunk through the mag. Yeah, GPK has to be very careful not to get caught like this again. Almost thinking that maybe we're looking at a Linkens or something, just to make sure that there's no Hex coming out onto him, and he can then react to the Magnus.
I wouldn't be opposed to Magnus going for like an Aeon disc. I feel like he's been caught off 1 too many times by the Chrono. And it's like, if he does survive the Chrono, imagine having a fight where he's like harpoon, hexing, running around. Like, RP is great, but he offers so much more just in that. And he is the one that has to go into the fight, right? Like, there's no way Mag can just sit back.
Yeah. I mean, this is what we've mentioned many times is that he is their initiation. Like there is nothing else. Maybe you can get some like Spectre, Shadow Step into Bash, but Abyssal coming out as well, sure. But really, the big start to the fight has to be the mag. You don't have anything else. Which is rough. It means there's always going to be a target. And without him, it's hard. Virtus.pro to start engagements. "47 minutes in, still no major advantage on the board. Virtus.pro doing well, but still the threat of BetBoom is pretty big. Pure now with the Desolator, with the Daedalus. I didn't realize that Desolator only has 4 charges in it. Like, Jerome, we were like, oh my god, Pure's going to own this game. He's got more farm than anybody.
Didn't own anything.
He
Owned
didn't.
himself.
Just about.
And just to set the stage, VP, they are technically in a winning position right now. They haven't beaten BetBoom since 2022 in a game. They haven't beaten BetBoom ever in a series. So we could break potentially a 1-year curse if they are to win this game. And what a time it would be to break the streak.
FNG going for the bottom lane of Barracks right now. He might get caught out though, doesn't have a BKB, so we'll just have to die to the puck here. How much damage can he get off onto the Barracks in the meantime? Well, not really enough. It will survive. Melee Barracks is fine. However, this has given Virtus.pro a chance to get control of this top side of the map a little bit more. Knowing that there's no threat from BetBoom until that puck comes back gives them a bit of comfort to set up.
Fortification was used. Knight, he's in the wave and powered up. Has the Abyssal Blade. Prophet does have buyback as well.
Nightfall looking for the Chronosphere, looking for the ideal target. Squadix deep in the trees. You can go scouting, but it's pretty scary. Oh my god, GPK! Just straight into the tree line. BKB comes out with Abyssals there from the Spectre in time. Doesn't matter. Puck's able to get away. Oof. It's spicy. It's spicy. Nothing big being committed just yet. Only a couple of BKBs, Abyssal Blades. Puck definitely going to have to play carefully. Knowing that the Hex is on him if he's not too careful. Aghanim's available on the Tusk as well, so you may see some heroes flying around the fight. Now that would be a play. Screw Hurricane piking the Magnus, kicking the Magnus as he jumps in.
Oh, you want to come close to us? Yeah, please. Closer.
And I've wasted no time in getting into the pit. Magnus, he is nearby. Shockwave's going to come through, but it's also going to alert them to where Notice really is. But he comes flying into the pit. RP comes down to 2 of the Cataclysm coming on through. It'll take them both. Bye-bye Nightfall. Bye-bye Save. And now they can start dealing with the rest of the heroes around the back of this pit. They'll find Toronto Tokyo hiding in the tree lands, shaking in the tree lands, sucking in the tree lands. That's illegal. Finish the guy off. Down he goes. And that is 3 dead on the side of BetBoom. 50 minutes, Roshan is going to move to the bottom side of the map, but not really too much they can do about it. BetBoom just going to have to give up this Roche. And that's what happens. You get the, oh, Weaver! This is no place for you, little bug. He's going to get brought down as well. The Hex is coming on out. Double Hexes from the Invoker, from the Magnus. It will be a clean kill indeed on to Pure. And back into the pit we go after that light distraction. Now we have Aegis, and we have the Refresher Shard for the Magnus as well, I would imagine. Could put it on the Evoker as well. 2 very strong options. Kind of cute as well that he's like through in the
Invoker takes it. I expect if he gets chronoed, he just laughs at the Void, right? Because like, sure, you don't have any damage to kill me. So Invoker kind of becomes the target, and I think the BetBoom, they just can't really connect anything, right? Like, even when they initiate a fight, it's like, where's your damage? Mag comes in, RP. Finally, we see the Cataclysm like we all saw, and it's just too much damage. Like, for the last half an hour, have you seen Puck use Coil with a Weaver right click or a Chrono with right clicks? Like, it just feels like 3 cores who are playing their own little mini game, whilst VP it's the Mag giving Spectre purpose, the Invoker hunting to then also give Spectre purpose. VP are just playing a much cleaner game of Dota, punishing BetBoom and the greed that they had within this draft. Maybe at the high ground it simplifies things for BetBoom and they can show us what they can do with these heroes, but for now on open map it really is just VP's place to whenever you fight in Sayu. He's about to complete this Moonshard. If he wants to not have buyback and just have straight Moonshard Ags, also about to hit level 25 with the 100 attack speed. An insane power spike coming in from this Dark Willow.
Yeah, it's got to be tempting.
Okay. Please buy the Moonshot, get the 25 talent.
Chrono is now back in play, by the way, so you always have that going.
Oh, Spectre's in.
Although, all right, Toronto Tokyo, once again, being caught out. 1-10 at the moment on Pugna. 3-11 on the Tusk. We're looking back at the kills that they've been able to get on the side of Virtus.pro. I mean, throughout the entire game, it has been those supports. And yeah, sure, you're not shutting down the big cores, but it was how they were able to kind of keep themselves in the game through that kind of scary early mid. And eventually come back into it with some decent team fights. Virtus.pro so close to being able to finish this one off, do some real damage to the BetBoom base. They know this tower's not staying alive. A couple of hits being thrown onto the range racks as well. Fortifications out though. It's always so scary to defend this. If you're showing yourself to clear waves, you're showing yourself to the Magnus.
And Alacrity. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, why not?
Alacrity. There's a Solar Crest too. Off you go. Your time to take racks again.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, just casual, like maybe 350 attack speed he's managed to gain in the last couple of minutes just from 25 talent, Moonshard, and Alacrity. Alright. I didn't expect Willow to be the one racketing them, but, well, I guess I sort of did.
When the game goes late enough, anyone can become a core.
Even you, viewer. One final lane of barracks remaining. BetBoom, their hands are kind of being forced here. You need to react to this.
Chrono.
You need...
Yeah,
I mean, you got to bring down this Willow somehow. Siege Master Willow. And here we go. Kick back. Very nicely done from the Tusk, but he's also going to get himself hexed up immediately. And under the cover of Shadow Realm, Willow's just walking away. Chronosphere does come down, but he's just waiting and waiting and waiting, and finally will be able to hit the Willow, but she's got the Yules out. Chronosphere doing absolutely nothing. Nightfall just getting controlled up. Burst down. Hex is there, and he is gone. And meanwhile, in the backlines, the Weaver gets taken out, buys back into the game. Everybody on BetBoom dying and coming back into the fight except the Puck. And Virtus.pro just backing themselves away. That is as well. Crazy. Yeah. I mean, a couple of buybacks coming out from Virtus.pro as well, to be fair. Not just
Mag and Willow.
BetBoom. Yep.
So Mag and Willow bought back compared to the Void and Weaver, but still, it's just the fact that your Void is having to chrono the position 4 now. Like, that is
not even killing
what you
him.
want to see. I feel like this is going to be like just such low damage numbers for the Void and Weaver in this game. BetBoom, they are smoked up with no chrono, and now trying to find the smoke. There's at least no RP, but Hex is in place. For Mag does have playability in the fight. 26,000 gold lead. Aegis on Invoker is expiring in 20 seconds.
This could be huge. Jump out, punch up. They want to just bring down the Willow as quickly as possible. But once again, the Yules is there. And a cheese as well. Going to heal him up fully should he need it. Save is already gone as Magnus comes onto the sideline. Hex out onto the Void. Faceless Void. Nightfall. He gets away. Time walk to the sideline. But no, RP is there along with the Harpoon. They need to find the damage though. The cover of invisibility this late into the game is still very, very strong. Nightfall is out. He somehow gets away with this. Weaver, meanwhile, will also be able to escape. They're looking at the Puck now. Now the Puck is the one hero which actually has a buyback here, I think. Actually, no, he doesn't. He doesn't have the gold. Oh, Puck!
He does.
He does.
Woo. And Rapier. Rapier was dropped. There was a Rapier.
Puck had a...
The most least impactful Rapier because we didn't even notice it did nothing.
I mean, he did. He did manage to drop down like 6k gold, but yeah. Ah, that's why it said he didn't have buyback, because he had the Rapier, but then when you drop it, you lose a net worth. So, Oh, there you go. Learn something new every day. Knight going for the tier 4s now. Heals upon him. I mean, they need more damage than this if you want to take this guy down. Knight is very tanky indeed. Throw that alacrity on him. Nightfall comes in, drops down the Chrono Spear. Did he just blink out on the Invoker? I think he did. The damage now coming in onto Nightfall. You can't fight them. You just can't fight them. GG gets called, and it is Virtus.pro taking game number 1, finally breaking the curse. They haven't beat this team in the entirety of last season, and then the first time they play against them this season, they get themselves a dub.
And it was the stand-in who